everyone, it's Bob McCraney with This Month in Realty, and I'm excited to have back Jamie Harnish. Jamie is with Bosley Real Estate. He serves the Yonge and Eglington area of Toronto. So tell us about the market in Yonge and Eglington and Toronto.
Hi, Bob. Happy New Year. Thanks for having me. I'll start with Yonge and Eglington. You had mentioned. So taking a look at what had happened in December, the number of leases and number of sales were relatively consistent with what has been happening, let's say, since the fall. So, numbers are down slightly, but not, I mean, it's December, so things do tend to slow down a little bit. So that's not abnormal by any stretch of the imagination. What was interesting was on the sale side of things, and sorry, when I say sale, I mean not leases, but on the buying and selling side of things. Number of sales stayed relatively consistent, but the number of active listings available in December dropped by almost half. So in November, there were, by the end of November, there were 150 active places on the market available to be purchased. And by the end of December, there were only 80. But the sales hadn't necessarily increased by any kind of substantial amount. So what that tells me is that a lot of buyers basically threw up their hands and took their places off of the market. So if anybody's kind of watching this or in the Yonge and Eglinton area, now might be an okay time to get back onto the market because you have significantly less competition than you did in a month like October or November, just as an example. Competition is probably one of the biggest killers, I guess, if you will, in terms of trying to be able to make a sale if you've got a lot of comparable properties that are available as well. Okay. On the number of new listings side of things, so again, there were 80 total active listings available, but number of new listings, things dropped by almost 2/3. So we went down from 90, I think it was 98 new listings in November to 36 or something like that new listings in December. So December is a month where buyers stay relatively consistent, relatively active, but sellers basically say, I'm not listing my place during December. So interesting to just kind of see those dynamics, and sellers decide to take the month off and yet buyers remain active. So maybe a lesson for anybody who's watching this for next December to not necessarily come off the market, but to stay on, because buyers do stay relatively active.
Interesting. Okay. So what's your prediction for 2021 for the real estate market in your area?
Thank you. Yeah. So before I get into the predictions, one thing I wanted to talk about was December as a whole for the city of Toronto. Since 2017, I've been tracking two distinct parts of the city separately because they tend to be kind of different animals. So the core of Toronto, and then the kind of the ring of areas around that central core. For both areas, they were record-setting Decembers for number of sales. So that was really interesting to see because in 2017, we had a record number of transactions. And then now in 2020, we had a new record number of transactions, and December for that month set a new record in terms of monthly transactions as well in both of those areas. So that means that buyers were very, very active, more active than they've ever been in any other kind of previous December. So much so that sales increased December of 2020 by 58% in the central core, more than the next busiest December, at least that I've been tracking, and by 40% in that ring around the central core compared to the next busiest December. So I say that leading into my predictions because I think buyers have been very active. They were very active in December, and I don't see why that would stop in January. If anything, there's more reason to be less active in December than there would be in January. So I have a feeling that the market is going to be quite strong. Certainly in the freehold market, it has been very, very strong since I would say July. So I expect that to continue in the freehold market. The condo market has really taken a beating since about September. But I anticipate as more people become vaccinated, I think things will get a little bit better. So I would expect the condo market to probably pick up pace probably by mid-year, so maybe early summer. And anecdotally, a property that I went to go see yesterday with a client of mine was a condo, very nice condo, not necessarily luxury in terms of price point for Toronto, but a nice condo in not a great neighborhood. And by the time we went to go see it, which was the second day on market, it already had 3 offers.
Wow.
And my buyer might have been the 4th, but we weren't sure that she had a bit of a shot. So we decided to back out. So I don't know if that was just a kind of a one-off and that place is really great, or if that's maybe a sign of the times that people are really looking at maybe getting into the condo market since the turn of the calendar.
So what else would you want somebody to know about Yonge? You talk about Yonge and Eglington all the time, and I feel like I've been there just from hearing you talk. What else would you want them to know about this great community you're so enthralled with?
Yeah, I would say that it's becoming, if it's not kind of already there, basically a second downtown. A lot of people talk about downtown Toronto and there's the CN Tower and there's the different sports arenas and that kind of stuff. So Yonge and Eglinton doesn't necessarily have that, but we've got great transit access. There's another new subway that goes east-west across the city that's being built. So there'll be a major intersection for transit access. There's new developments happening all the time, which brings new businesses. There's new green space being planned. So it's an really excellent area for kind of like up and coming growth. Now it's busy and there's a lot of construction going on. That's not necessarily for everybody, but if as somebody's watching this, wanted to be in a place that was really on the on the up and up, I guess, and really being developed and full of like modern amenities, and really being focused on in terms of the city and the province looking at it to develop new green spaces, new buildings, new amenities for pedestrians and bicyclists and that kind of stuff. It's a fantastic neighborhood.
Excellent. So Jamie, how would somebody reach you?
Yeah, I mean, wherever they're seeing this video, they can message me on that platform. You're probably seeing that on YouTube, maybe on Instagram or Facebook. My email address is J and then my last name, Harnish, at bosleyrealestate.com. My cell phone, I'm often available for text or phone calls, is 416-428-8892.
Say it one more time.
416-428-8892.
Okay. Will you come back next month?
Absolutely.
Okay. This has been This Month in Realty. Tune in next month to hear more from Jamie and other real estate experts around Canada and the United States. Take care.
Thanks, Bob.